So we are here at the National Storm Chaser Summit 2023, and we're here with Chaser Jeff Piotrowski, and of course our co-host Jen Watts. And Jen, we'll start with a couple questions.
Yeah. So Jeff, I actually have notes on my phone from your talk. It's really exciting. But let's just dive right into the future of what it's going to be like with just internet, storm chasing, and everything, and how Starlink is going to change like our world as we know it really fast and really soon.
Right. So, I think our best storm chasing days are ahead of us, right? And I think if you look at what's happening globally right now with Starlink and the rapid acceleration of the 5060 version 1 of the Starlink satellites out there now, and then version 2 is coming, right?
Yeah.
Very, very soon. And those start launching, and they're extremely powerful. We're going to have global coverage, and the days where we can go anywhere in the world, take your cell phone and have emergency communications and also text, SMS text, but also be able to talk on a global scale. There will no more, very soon, you'll be able to go anywhere in the world. And I just saw a live shot this last couple of weeks ago from Mount Everest with the Starlink. The guy carried a battery pack up with the Starlink on top of Mount Everest. Guy was live from the summit. Okay. I showed my presentation the live shot from Antarctica, right? From the Sounds, Murdo Bay expedition there. The science is there. And there's going to be between planes, cars, automobiles, people's cell phones, global communications on a global scale is going to change forever as we know it today. And it's going to open a lot of opportunities. It's also going to save hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of lives globally over time, because the days of not being able to reach somebody on a mountain because of an avalanche or somebody's stuck in debris like Hurricane Harvey or we got a Joplin situation, those days going forward are over. You'll have global communications anywhere in the world, in the middle of the ocean, wherever you're at. And that's really exciting, right? And it's also not just exciting from a safety and storm chasing, it's also exciting for the opportunities going forward, because there's going to be a whole new inventions of a lot of technologies based on that, right? And it's going to help society
I think
as
that's
a whole.
Big part right there.
Right.
What else
is
is
going to
come from that?
Massive part of it, for sure.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Starship.
Yeah.
So we've got Starlink, Starship. So yes, this is going to change how we communicate globally, but what about the universe? So what's going to happen there?
I don't have an answer on that one. I would think that with time, there's just so much work going on in that area that's getting way above my capability of what I understand what we're doing today, to be honest with you, down the road here. But I think if you just look at how fast things are rolling out, just literally the last 36, 48 months and where we're at today and what's going to happen in the next 24 to 36 months, it's going to be a fire hose. Most people cannot comprehend what's about to happen on a global scale. If you think about this, let me, and part of this is Starlink and part of it's the intercommunications. And we talked about it last year. If you think about our cars today, whether it's a Tesla car or any other car, right? Yep. Communicating, think about, and this is coming, okay? Maybe 5 years, maybe next year, but it's coming, what I'm about to tell you. This is way off. This is way over the top. What I'm about to say.
You're teasing me.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
I like it.
Think about when we're out in the field storm chasing, or just, we're not chasing, just the everyday drivers going to work. They're coming home from school, whatever. Your car's gonna be smart enough. They can do it today. That it has cameras around the outside of it live. Mm-hmm. It will know when the road's wet. It will know if it's snowing. Yep. It will know if it's hailing in real time. It'll know if the winds are a certain deal, right? A certain speed. It will send that information automatically to the weather service. You won't have to call. It will have machine learning to where as your car enters an area that is now wet pavement or icy roads, it will know in real time on a global scale what the environment is as it's happening. So emergency people are automatically notified. If it sees a car go off a bridge, the cameras are smart enough. The car's like, the car slid off. You don't have to call 911. It will do it for you automatically. It will know a wreck's already happened. Emergency helicopters will be en route before you have to try to find life flight. These things are all going to be in an automatic mode as we go forward in technology, right? This is not something coming 20 years from now. This is something that's happening today, and it's going to ramp up enormously fast over the next 3 to 5 years.
Think of linking all that together, like they now will link weather stations to be able to sell that information and make that information available. Yeah, I agree with you. That's a big deal.
So there's some really exciting things that in the camera side of things, and also the automobile side, where your car's going to be a visual 360 camera. They're doing that today, right?
Mhm.
And it will analyze everything around you in real time. Like it'll auto brake if it sees a deer running out in front of you. It will know if there's debris in the road, those kind of things. It'll stop for you automatically, drive you to the hospital automatically with a push of a button without you even being conscious in the car. Those kind of things are rapidly accelerating on a global scale, right? And so when you think about Starlink, you think about just having global communications, it's going to take it to the next level. And I think Starlink's going to take us to full autonomy driving. We've heard about the robo taxi where you have cars are driverless. There's no people in them, right? You call someone's a car.
Mhm.
In my lifetime, okay, you'll be able, if you want a car, let's talk about the Cybertruck, right? We've been talking about
Right,
Cybertruck.
yep.
I ordered it the first night it
Yep.
came out. If you want to borrow my Cybertruck, you'll hit a button. It'll self-drive. I don't drive it to you. It'll self-drive to your house. You're going to have it from
Crazy.
6 a.m. till 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. You pay me X amount of dollars. Tesla gets a share. I get my cut. And you could have an incredible vehicle, right? And it has 360 recording inside the vehicle, outside the recording. So I know if you do something stupid, right? If you wreck, if you burn a hole in the seat, anything, it's kind of recording that. It's for insurance purposes, right? So the environment, how we know it today, is all going to change. So going forward, it's going to change everything we know as how we live today, right?
And when my time's up, I get to come party at your house and have dinner because it's going to take me right to your house again.
It's
right?
possible, right? No, I think the things I've actually seen work in real life globally today. There's a guy who had a heart attack. He's on the road, and he knew he was having a heart attack. He's actually, I believe, a doctor. He's in Tennessee about 3 years ago. The guy just hits the hospital. Car drove him. The guy's in cardiac arrest. It drives him to the hospital ER. They come out. They know he's in.
Wow.
So those kind of things are happening. People don't know about it. And they don't talk about a lot about it. They always hear about the negative, right?
Yeah.
There's so much positive stuff happening globally, not just with Teslas. It's a lot of automobiles, right?
Mhm.
Technology in general, right? Is that saving people's lives and advanced stuff is just a mind blowing. It's I'm just telling you, I'm just scratching the surface on what's coming, right? But our best days are ahead of us.
So on a micro level, let's go back to Starlink. What would be the two things as a chaser that Starlink is going to change things as a storm chaser?
Well, I can't tell you, I've been in the field thousands of times where we've had total infrastructure failure of communications.
Mhm.
I've got people that are injured or killed.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I can't get a hold of anybody via the phone or radio or whatever. It's extremely frustrating, right? To be able to know you can take your phone probably this year with T-Mobile and Starlink and get an SMS message out, text, here's my location, here's what's going on, I need help, or be able to pick up that phone call. I tell you, it was really invigorating just the short time I've had Starlink, tested at the house, but also it gave Kathy a comfort factor, your partner, that, you know what, if my husband or my wife wants to go on this expedition, or they want to go chase into Antarctica, or they want to go shoot the lights in the Iceland, they take Starlink with you, or a version thereof, right?
Yeah.
And I have communication. I can be FaceTime with you anywhere in the world, right live.
Yeah.
Or my kids, if I got a parent that's remote part of the world, be able to have that instant communications in the middle of nowhere, right? That's never happened before.
Yeah.
And you think just about how much the satisfaction you're going to get that you can reach out and talk to your wife or your kids can be live on your phone anywhere in the world in a matter of seconds. Yeah. That's a game changer, guys. It changes everything global as we know it today.
So what would be one or two things that you feel Starlink isn't maybe quite there? They got to make a few more adjustments to make it a more widespread chaser.
From the chaser community,
item.
I think you've got to have a Starlink receiver that is more durable, right? That we can get in those baseball hell events. That's going to happen. But you're just going to get those things that are going to drive into them. But you're going to have those things that, you get a baseball hell that ejects 5 miles from the core is like 6 miles to the northwest. Right. And all of a sudden this updraw 60,000 feet, boom, here comes a baseball and it ejected it, right? I mean, it's all happened to us. We're not even near the core. They have high impact, kind of like the truck. Golf ball, baseball, 99% of the people in the world are not going to go into, they're not looking for severe weather. They're not going to be near in that environment. Right. But if you did, it'd be nice to know that we're going to survive that, right? And in the coming versions going forward, I would anticipate even better type units that will withstand even higher, right? But I think it's very impressive. You look at the first version now with the wedge mount.
Yeah.
Kind of joking about,
Speed,
wedge mount tornadoes, and hurricanes. But the point is, it's rated 175 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's pretty
outrageous.
good. Yeah,
That's,
pretty good.
that's getting in.
Yeah.
I don't know. From what I know about it today, I'd call that it's the Piotrowski approved version, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
stamp,
It's
you
the
just
Piotrowski
stamp it
stamps
on
on
there.
that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing communication stuff back in the 80s. A lot of people, most of yours don't know this. Can I have it like 5 more minutes? I'm gonna tell you
Yes,
something
we want.
incredible.
Yeah,
99%
yeah.
of the world doesn't know this. This is a true story. This is amazing. When Cellular One in Chicago first came out with the cell phone, the 3-watt back phone, we had those outside antennas, we had those little back phones, the big heavy deals, the big battery brick. I was in Kansas City, and a local TV engineer says, "Hey, you in town for today or tomorrow?" See, I'm in town tomorrow. I see several customers. He said, "Would you like some tickets to a military show?" And I said, "That'd be kind of cool." And it's just it's kind of technology. And this engineer knew I was a technical nut. And I said, "Yeah, I can check that out." So when I was there, Sony had a device that looked like about the size of a laptop, and they called it the PVT 115. I remember it just like it was yesterday. And it was a steel store,
Pretty good.
and it had a little RCA BNC connector on the side. And what it did, it allowed you to take a camera and you plugged it into this little machine, and I'd hit a button, and it would grab a color image of one of the cameras pointing at. But here's the cool thing. So I found that at that show. Literally a couple of days later, I'm in Oklahoma City. Cellular One calls me because they know I'm in this space. They go, "We got something we think you might be interested in." I said, "What's that?" It was called the black box. Not the black box on the plane,
Right.
but a black box. And it was about the size of your iPhone.
Okay.
And it allowed you to have dial tone on a computer in your car. So that back phone, okay, because it didn't give you dial tone, this little thing goes ding when you plugged it in. It had an RJ45 connector.
Yep.
So my light bulb goes off. I go, this is 48 hours after I'd just been in the show in Kansas City. I said, you know what? I've got technology. If I can make that marry with this, I can help everybody, right? Because I'm all about getting pictures and stuff to the TV stations and people as quick as possible.
Right.
Kid, this is 1980,
That's
42 plus years ago, right? It's way back there, way, way, way back.
wow.
So anyway, we got a meeting set up in Oklahoma City, right here in Oklahoma City, a TV station, brought the Sony guy in, Brett, brought Cellular One in, had all the district managers, VP from Chicago came down. And they said, "What are we going to do?" I said, "I'm going to show you. We're going to send an image from the parking lot into the station." So you have a unit out in the car. You had a unit at the station. I had a dial-in phone number. And I did a still story, grab the color picture, and I hit dial, hit the next button. It dialed the number, 405, whatever, it hit the number. Yeah. And then it connected. And it wasn't real fast. It was like, I think it was 9,600 baud. It was slow, but it's a color image. And it would literally, the receive side, they'd have it on a monitor. It would come down one line at a time. Okay. And it may take 10 minutes for the picture. Color image, 1980 over cell phone. 1980, we're transmitting pictures over cell phone.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. And so that was the beginning of the groundbreaking, right? And then there's the next thing. And then we developed the technology. Most people don't know this. We developed technology where it took 4 cell phones. A couple years later, we took 4 back phones and a computer, and we could record a 2-minute clip out in the field. And these 4 back phones would call back at the station, like 4 landlines. And it basically, it's storing forward. I recorded the event just happened, and it would dial those numbers. And if the cell phone dropped off or one of the 4 lines dropped off, it moved the data to all the other lines, line 2, 3, or 4, or line 1 or whatever, until all the video sit. And then it put all the video together, put all the video back together, even though the lines dropped off, and then they can play the video back. Okay. Got a patent for that. Right?
Wow.
It's a utility patent. It's still available. I still have it today, right? So
that's why you make all the big bucks. Huh?
Yeah.
No, not the big bucks. It didn't ever actually make me any big bucks at all. But what it did do is it shows if you push the envelope, you got to think outside the box daily. It's really not about selling what I'm selling, because I'm not selling Starlink. I'm not in the business. What I do is I understand the big picture. I always think outside the box. How's this technology going to help humanity? How's it going to help the next industry? How am I going to be able to do my job better? How's it going to be for safety for officers and policemen? They're out in the middle of nowhere and they need emergency communications quickly, right?
Yeah.
Because it's got an escalating situation. So I've had a history of this, 40 years of this kind of stuff, right?
Mhm.
So I get it, right? So it's just, I love that stuff, right? I just breathe,
tell. Yeah, I
eat,
can
I
tell.
love that kind of stuff. And
That's
that's
cool.
that's my deal, right? I love it. And then if I can get companies together, or if I'm selling it, I'm like, gosh, I love it even better. So you sell the technology, but the key is, it's not about what you're selling. It's about helping the other person, a company, a client. And a lot of times I will point people, I've got people today, and it happens quite frequently. Companies will call me. They're not even a customer of the Barron side of the house. And they'll call me and say, Jeff, I got this problem. Who shall I call? Do you know anything in the industry that'll help me? Say, oh, call XYZ. Here's their number. They call them and it solves their problem.
Mm.
You gotta be that person people rely on to help you solve the problem that has nothing to do. They're not gonna buy nothing from me, but I know I'm gonna help that customer. Really.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's what's important. It's building those relationships, right? So that's
100%.
important, right?
I love that.
Did you have one more question? Or you good?
I'm good. You asked it, so
Good.
yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Jeff.
You sure don't want
Appreciate it.
anything else?
Oh, we
I
could.
do have something else actually. Are you familiar with Waze? You know Waze?
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. So this isn't a question. This is something that we're going to do. So you can actually, I don't even know what I'm going to do with this yet, but I think it's going to be fun.
Okay. Now this
You
may
can
be
actually record your voice
okay.
into the direction. So like you can be the voice that says turn left.
Oh,
In
cool. I
1
did not know
mile,
you could do that.
a right. Yeah.
That's
So-
amazing.
I-
So,
am-
so you, so in other words, you do it on your, okay, let's talk about this. So you record my voice on Waze, and then when you're driving, my voice will come up when it says turn right or turn
Correct.
left.
So what
Yes,
I'm doing is I'm
yes.
putting together a storm chase Waze. So I'm just
That's a
recording
great
everybody doing a
idea.
bunch of
I
anything.
love it. It's going to
And
be a
then I'm going to
success.
release it to people and just say, hey, if you want,
You know what?
you
It's
want
going to,
Jeff
it's going
and
to, it's going to
Reed
be a
and Eric
huge,
and
it's going to be a
these
huge success. I can tell you right now that I'm all in. I totally get it.
So, so I'm just gonna write your name by some of these. I'm gonna have Jeff say this one. I'm gonna have
Pick carefully.
this one. I'm just here. Jeff on that one.
This is really cool. I like this
Uh,
idea.
I know it's a
This-
great idea.
No, it's a great idea.
Jeff and Jeff. Okay. So
This is amazing.
hold on. I'm gonna
Okay,
hook up
this
my mic. So what you're gonna do with this thing?
So
Just-
like on this first one here, do I just say that right there
And-
what it says and that's it and stop?
0.1 miles. That's
Okay.
it. Yep.
Got it.
But I'm gonna
Start
I'll
in
tell
the
you what,
park.
I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay.
You're gonna hold this because we're not going through this mic.
Okay.
So just hold it. I
Mhm.
don't know, like
Mhm.
plenty distance. And pull this up. So I got to look to see what I've got you reading here. So I've got you reading the first one. So I'll just go 3, 2, 1, and point to you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
3, 2.
Gear is packed. Let's chase.
Got that one. All right. What's the next one? I got 0.1 miles. 3, 2.
In 0.1 miles,
I'm gonna redo that. 3, 2.
keep left.
No, back. We're going back to
Okay,
the
sorry.
0.1 miles
Okay.
because I think
Okay.
I was talking. when it
Tell me when you're ready.
Go.
In 0.1 miles.
Got that one, saving that one. Then it's the keep left one. 3, 2.
Keep left.
Got that. What's the next one I got you? What does it say? First exit or second?
Take the second exit.
Second exit. Okay. 3, 2.
Take the second exit.
Save that. And then the last one is crash reported. 3, 2.
Crash reported up ahead. Help if needed.
Save. Good. All right.
You got such a great
Give it a
voice, by
shot,
the
man.
way. You got a very good voice.
I don't know how this is going to work out, but it
Huh?
might be fun. I don't know how this is
Nailed
going
it.
to work out.
Nailed
It might be
Needed
fun.
just like you got to get their attention, right? I always like when the app sometimes it misses laser and he goes, prepare to get in the right hand lane, go a quarter mile ahead, stay in the right hand lane. And then when you get that quarter mile past, it goes immediately get in the left hand lane.
I know.
Exit 109, exit 109,
There's a-
10 feet
there's
ahead.
a,
Like, what? I
there-
went from right to middle lane to 10 feet. Here's the exit. You
There-
know what I'm saying?
what's the insurance commercial that's got the mayhem?
Oh,
Guys like
Oh,
mayhem.
Allstate.
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 Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
driving, and he's your GPS.
Yes.
Right.
Up ahead, turn right.